Forget everything you think you know about Rome. The silent white ruins in museums, those are the bones. This is the living city, Rome, 125 AD. The most powerful metropolis the ancient world ever produced. From this single golden column, 80,000 kilometers of roads connected Scotland to the Middle East. No GPS, no satellites, just Roman engineering. Look up, 7 stories of stone and brick. Rome invented the apartment building 2,000 years before Manhattan. 1 million people lived here. How do you supply 1 million people with water without electricity? A stone aqueduct, 70 kilometers long, powered by gravity alone. On every street corner, free, clean, running water. No other city had this. Not for another 15 centuries. Silk from China, spices from India, the world's first shopping mall. Globalization before the internet. Inside the Senate, no one is above the law, innocent until proven guilty. Written here 2,000 years ago. Roman concrete gets stronger underwater. Our buildings last 100 years. Roman structures have survived 2,000. The legion, engineers and architects as much as soldiers. Wherever they marched, civilization followed. The Colosseum, 80,000 people, filled and emptied in minutes. The Circus Maximus, 150,000 spectators, still the largest stadium ever built. And above it all, the emperors lived on heated marble floors. Rome had central heating 2,000 years before your apartment did. The Colosseum, 80,000 people, white travertine marble, a retractable linen canopy covering the entire arena. This wasn't just entertainment, it was a message to the world. Rome can build anything. The Romans could fill and empty the Colosseum in minutes using numbered clay tokens. We copied that system. 2,000 years later, we still haven't improved on it. Hydraulic elevators beneath the arena floor. At the pull of a rope, a forest could erupt from the sand. Exotic animals appearing from nowhere. Rome didn't just host spectacles, it manufactured them. Gladiators were not slaves dragged to their death. Many were free men, volunteers, celebrities, the athletes of the ancient world. The Circus Maximus held 150,000 spectators, 1/4 of Rome's entire population in a single venue. Still, the largest stadium ever built. The greatest charioteer, Diocles, his career earnings adjusted for today exceed $15 billion. The highest paid athlete in human history. And above it all, on the Palatine Hill, the emperors lived among silk sofas, gold plates, and heated marble floors. Rome had central heating 2,000 years before your apartment did. But spectacle was only half of Rome's genius. The other half was knowledge. Every architect alive today has studied this ceiling. The Pantheon's dome, 43 meters in diameter, no steel, no reinforced concrete, built in 125 AD and still standing, perfectly intact. Roman surgeons performed cataract operations and cesarean sections with instruments nearly identical to tools used in hospitals today. Roman medicine was more advanced than anything Europe would see for the next 1,000 years. Beneath the city, the Cloaca Maxima, the world's first major sewer system. Still functioning today, after 2,600 years. Rome understood that civilization begins with clean water in and wastewater out. The port of Ostia, Dozens of merchant ships, thousands of workers, cargo from every corner of the known world. One currency across 5 million square kilometers. Roman legions could march 40 kilometers a day. No other army moved that fast on foot until the railroad, 1,700 years later. Rome had dozens of public libraries, free and open to all citizens. Virgil, Ovid, Tacitus, the books that shaped Western civilization, were stored on these shelves. Literacy rates in Rome were higher than in most of Europe during the Middle Ages, 1,000 years later. From above, the true scale of Rome's power. The port of Ostia, hundreds of ships, thousands of workers, cargo from every inhabited continent. Egypt fed Rome. Every year, enough grain to feed 1 million people crossed the Mediterranean without a single failure. Monte Testaccio, that hill in Rome, isn't natural. It's made entirely of broken amphorae, 50 million clay containers, the world's largest ancient landfill. The Romans were so obsessed with pepper that when the Visigoths sacked Rome in 410 AD, part of their ransom was 3,000 pounds of it. Chinese silk in a Roman shop in 125 AD, a fabric that had traveled 7,000 kilometers to get here. Rome and China never spoke directly, and yet their economies were intertwined. Global trade didn't begin with Columbus. It was already ancient. The same marble Michelangelo would use 14 centuries later, cut from mountains by hand, dragged to ships by oxen. A Roman craftsman blowing molten glass into a perfect goblet, techniques Europe wouldn't rediscover until the Renaissance. Rome didn't build a civilization. It built a standard of civilization. But nothing lasts forever. Not even Rome. The shadow moves across the sundial, and somewhere in the back of every Roman mind, the question that haunts every great civilization: how long can this last? SPQR. 4 letters carved into stone all over the world. You can still see them today on manhole covers in Rome. Rome burned, not once, but many times, and each time it rebuilt, because the idea of Rome was fireproof. The Pantheon didn't just survive, it became the blueprint for every sacred space that followed. Habeas corpus, the contract, private property, due process. The structure of every free society on Earth today was designed by men in togas in this city 2,000 years ago. Roman concrete submerged in seawater for 2,000 years is stronger now than the day it was poured. Our modern concrete crumbles in decades. Roman concrete improves with age. We still don't fully know why. Rome's greatest innovation was not the arch, the aqueduct, or the road. It was the idea that anyone, from anywhere, could become part of a civilization. The letters you're reading right now, Roman. Your 12-month calendar, Roman. Every time a lawyer says habeas corpus, Roman. The highway under your city often still follows a Roman road. Spanish, French, Italian, Portuguese, Romanian, all children of Latin, all children of Rome. The dome on the US Capitol, the columns on the Supreme Court, the arches of the Paris Metro, all Roman. Turn on your tap, the idea that clean water should reach every citizen, Roman. The Senate, the Republic, the concept of elected representation, Roman. Video, audio, agenda, data, campus, forum, consensus. Every one of those words is Latin. Rome still speaks through your mouth every single day. A single marble column, ancient. The camera pulls back and around it. The modern city of Rome. Traffic, tourists, coffee shops, 2 worlds, 1 column, 2,000 years of continuous existence. We don't study Rome because it's old. We study Rome because it never ended. The empire fell. The idea didn't. Every city you've ever lived in was built on foundations that Romans laid. Not metaphorically, literally. Rome didn't fall in a day. The greatest empire the world had ever seen took centuries to unravel. The roads cracked, the aqueducts ran dry, the legions stopped marching, and the city that had once held 1 million people shrank to a ghost of itself. But here is what is extraordinary. The barbarians who sacked Rome didn't want to destroy it. They wanted to become it. Because even in its final hours, Rome was the standard. Everything we have shown you today, the roads, the laws, the concrete, the language, the architecture, none of it disappeared with the empire. It survived. It transformed. It became the foundation of the world you live in right now. Rome didn't end. It dissolved into everything that came after. And that is not the story of a civilization that failed. That is the story of a civilization that won, permanently. Subscribe to keep traveling through time with us, because the ancient world has more secrets to show you, and we are just getting started.